So a special congratulations goes out to one Dr. Marbellina Daisy Pie. This Maud Pie has graduated from her rock studies and achieved her doctorate. I lent my camera equipment out to the Pie family, a decision that I hopefully won't regret considering how responsible Pinty can sometimes not be. Right after getting her doctorate and becoming a doctor, Maud went over to Ponyville and had a little therapy session with Dr. Wolf. He advised her to try and make friends and show that she was interested in the interests of other ponies. Hearing about Maud wanting to come to Ponyville to live has gotten Pinty Pie a little bit on the hyper side, as she's excited at the possibility of her favorite sister coming to live with her, maybe. Also, the bit that Pinty Pie does where she slows down reminds me of a comedy sketch from an episode of Taxi performed by the character that Christopher Lloyd played on that show. Look it up sometime if you get a chance. See, Maud has a second choice in mind, Ghastly George. She'll either choose to live in the place with the most interesting rocks, or choose to live in the place with the most interesting friends, leaving Pinty Pie to try and prove to her that Ponyville has something worth Maud deciding to stay in Ponyville rather than move out and live someplace far away on her own. At first, Pinty decides to show Maud all of the amazing rocks that are around Ponyville, starting with the cave where Rarity does her gem mining for her fashion accessories. Maud points out that a lot of these gems are kind of common, which is actually true. A lot of gemstones, such as diamonds, are actually incredibly common rocks. It's the commercial industry that advertises diamonds as rare and special and amazing, when actually they're kind of common and boring. This advertisement is kind of effective because it convinces a large number of ponies to believe that diamonds actually have value to them and makes every pony want more diamonds. It's kind of a rip-off if you believe diamonds are actually special. So Maud does sort of have a point. When Pinty sees that the gem cave isn't instantly winning Maud over, she begins to panic, and this sends her into a slow-building insanity, the kind of insanity that we've seen from ponies before, especially Twilight Sparkle, Starlight Glimmer, Rainbow Dash, and a few others. In her panicking state, Pinty Pie tries to find other things that she can convince Maud are interesting rocks, including some rather uncomfortable seed pods from a bush, Rainbow's pet tortoise tank, and Lyra heartstrings. Yeah, Bonbon, you better take Lyra back than reclaim her as yours, because Pinty's gone a little nutsy tutu right about now. After coming off of her prove to Maud that rocks are interesting in Ponyville obsession, she decides to focus her attention on proving to Maud that there are ponies out there that she might want to be friends with. She predicts that the next most interesting friend that Maud could possibly meet will step out of the castle of friendship at any moment. A little late on her cue, Starlight Glimmer exits the door of the castle, and Pinkie Pie decides to try and hook Maud and Starlight up as friends. This attempt will eventually work, but no thanks to Pinkie Pie, as she's trying way too hard. In fact, Pinkie Pie is so obsessed over trying to make Starlight Glimmer and Maud Pie friends that she's going into the same levels of paranoia and craziness that Twilight did when Twilight was trying to prevent Starlight Glimmer and Trixie from becoming friends. I mean, on one hoof, Twilight was trying to hide inside of a bush and convince Starlight to become friends with Vinyl Scratch, Cranky Doodle Donkey, and Derpy Hooves. And on the other hoof, we have Pinkie Pie dressing up in a pizza costume, pretending to deliver pizza as an excuse to stalk Starlight Glimmer around to try and watch her friendship with Maud unfold and strengthen and blossom in the way that Pinkie Pie believes friendships should. She even goes as far as to throw the pizza at poor Derpy's face, which I guess Derpy didn't mind because, hey, free pizza, right? I wonder how far Pinkie was able to throw that pizza, by the way. Well, right. Hey, watch it. Anyhow, interestingly enough, it turns out that Maud and Starlight have actually met before, only in casual passing. It seems that Maud was doing some geology study right near Starlight's old village back when she was trying to do the whole utilization thing. In fact, it was Maud's knowledge of minerals that allowed Starlight to find the cave where she would later imprison all of the cutie marks. Well, gee, Maud, now you're an accessory to a crime? More specifically, an accessory to a world domination crime? Way to go with the criminal record thing. I'm sure glad no pony around here is trying to take over Equestria. Hey, wait a minute, where are you going with that magic-enhancing, reality-bending stone? No place. You're not gonna use that to warp reality and bend every pony in Equestria to your will so that they can play out your ship fits, are you? No. I'm just going over here and I'm going to not do that. Okay, bye. Well, as long as you stay out of trouble, that's all I care about. Anyhow, back to our conversation. As Maud and Starlight begin to talk with each other and bond and ask little follow-up questions about each other's interests, we discover that just as Maud has a passion for rocks, so does Starlight have a passion for kites. I've long known that Starlight has kept kites in her bedroom, but I never knew just how passionate she was about kites. Turns out, in fact, she knows quite a lot about kites. And Maud does exactly as she was advised by Dr. Wolf in her previous therapy session, and she asks Starlight about more information about tights and tries to take up an interest in what Starlight is interested in. It turns into a nice friendly conversation, and Starlight follows up that conversation by asking Maud what it is that she likes so much about rocks. Maud teaches Starlight about rocks, just like Starlight taught Maud about tights, and they begin to bond. However, the bonding that they are obviously doing isn't as obvious or as big a deal as Pinkie Pie would have wanted. Pinkie Pie doesn't see the conversation that Starlight and Maud have been having as enough bonding, and she tries harder and harder to get the two to bond, doing crazier and crazier things, like starting a cave-in so that the two will be locked in a cave and they'll be forced to bond while they wait for a rescue. But this doesn't go anyplace because both Starlight and Maud knew exactly how to escape from that cave. In fact, Starlight was actually very impressed by Boulder's ability to get them out of the cave and even praised him for their rescue. As Pinkie Pie continues to not be satisfied with the level of bonding that the two ponies are doing and wants them to be even stronger bonded, even quicker bonded, she tries to push Starlight and Maud's friendship on each other even more and more and more, and it gets to the point where both are being annoyed. Even at one point, Pinkie decides that her friends, they need more cowbell. When even that doesn't work and Pinkie reaches the peak of her annoyance, Maud decides that, if Pinkie Pie's gonna be this annoying, it may be too much of a problem to live in Ponyville all the time, and she should just go live in Astley Gorge. Astley Gorge isn't that far away from Ponyville. I mean, it's one of Rainbow Dash's favorite places to train, and Maud is there in the gorge, and she's looking for rocks. Unfortunately, those Toray eels that Rainbow Dash loves to tease don't want any part of Maud being in their territory, and they try to eat her. After falling off of a ledge and dangling a bit, Pinkie realizes what she's been doing was wrong, and she needs to let Maud and Starlight build a friendship their way and not her way, and she apologizes to Maud. All in all, it was nice to see Maud visit, and it was great to learn more about her. I do wonder how it's going to be when Starlight, Maud, and Trixie end up doing some kind of friendship thing together, because Trixie and Maud also have a past together, considering that Trixie once worked on Pinkie Pie's family's rock farm, and I know Pinkie was acting a bit weird in this episode, and that might annoy some ponies, but I think she had to go through this in order to learn a lesson. And as far as this year's going, we've had a lot of great, enjoyable, fun, and funny stories. Anyhow, that's about all I have to say about that. Thank you for watching, and good night.